Okay, so I'm Adam. I did my project on the game theory in the NFL. So what I based it on was the play from the Super Bowl 49, where Seattle, instead of running the ball, they threw the ball. Showed what the play is. I'm sure everybody who watched the Super Bowl remembers that play from 2 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Tough.
So what some people who study the game theory use, which game theory is a branch of mathematics concerned with the analysis of strategy, where the one participant's choice depends on the others. And a lot of times they use the minimax theory, which is just a set of plays that minimizes their maximum possible loss, which in the NFL consists of losing yards or incompletions or turnovers. So, like I said, the Super Bowl 49 with New England and Seattle, which that is considered possibly the worst call in Super Bowl history, but is it really? So what Pete Carroll did is he decided to throw the ball, and the reason why is New England stacked the line. They had eight defenders on the line and only left 3 in man-to-man coverage, which is more likely to have the pass succeed. And in the situation of 2nd and goal on the 1-yard line, Las Vegas actually gave them an 85% chance to win. So according to game theory, there's no play that cannot be stopped if the defense knows it's coming, which you have Marshawn Lynch, you know they're going to run the ball. And after the game, Pete Carroll said first the play was just to waste time and to establish the passing game as a threat, possibly set up a play action to put the odds back in the favor of the running game. And then in a regular NFL game, do you run or pass the ball? So according to game theory, an average team passes 56% of the time, and if they would increase this from 56 to 70, they could score 10 more points during the season, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it was a 4-point game in the Super Bowl. And if the defense can predict what type of play will be called, Bill Belichick knew they were going to run the ball. The offense would gain 10.8 yards less a game. They only needed 1 yard. So whenever you look at what Bill Belichick knew was coming versus what Pete Carroll knew that Bill Belichick knew, it kind of gives you an idea of why he probably threw the ball instead. And like I said, even though this doesn't seem like a significant amount, this can translate into 1 or 2 extra wins a season, which can be the difference between winning the playoffs or the Super Bowl. And statistically, the Seahawks had a higher chance of passing for the win than running the ball. In 2014, there were no passes from the 1-yard line that were picked. And Russell Wilson had a 1.5% incompletion or interception rate. Marshawn Lynch only had a 1.4. Not a huge difference whenever you look at the minimax theory talking about turnovers in that situation. And if you watch the replay, that was not a bad pass. Malcolm Butler just made an amazing play. And now Pete Carroll is still making $8 million a year after he blew the Super Bowl. So Ed, you got to realize that, yeah, he cost his team to win, possibly, but at the same time, was it the worst play that he could do? Whenever you look at the statistics, on the 1-yard line, 2/3 of the plays are rushing. 2/3. So you know it's coming, especially with Marshawn Lynch, which translates into 57.5% for both rushing and touchdowns from that position. So if you're going to run the ball, you run it less or run it more, but you have the same percentage of a chance to get it. And then in the past 10 NFL seasons, from the 1-yard line, there's been 129 passing touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. So when you look at it statistically, the game theorist would, it's really not that bad of a play. And that's it.
About 3 questions. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question, yeah. Okay, please, go ahead, yes.
Why did you pick that topic?
Seattle's my second favorite team. I'm a Cowboys fan first. But I like Seattle, and because I'm a State fan, they have several players from State. Russell Wilson, Stephen Hauschka, J.R. Sweezy. Pete Carroll was a defensive coordinator there for 2 years. And I really like Russell Wilson, and this cost him a lot of money. I want to be a coach. So looking at the statistics probability of somebody running versus passing can give the defensive coordinator an idea of what they're going to do to stop the play. So I just thought, looking at it statistically, this was kind of interesting. Because at first, I thought it was just a horrible call. Looking back at it now, yeah, it was still bad, but if it would have worked, that would have been one of the best play calls.
So you wanna be a coach, so like after doing this, which one do you think is
In this situation, I still would have ran the ball because it's Marshawn Lynch. But if you would look at the play, there was 8 defensive players ready to stop him. I probably would have done a play action, but I'm not the coach. I don't get paid $8 million a year to make the calls. Do I still think it was a bad play? Yeah, but I don't think it's considered the worst play in NFL history.
Okay, very good. You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay,
So good.
yeah, go ahead, last
I
question.
think you said it, but according to the game theory, it was a better choice to throw the ball or not.
According to game theory, with the whole part that I said about the second bullet here, if the defense can predict what type of play will be called, the offense will gain 10.8 yards less a game, which isn't a lot, but they're on the 1 yard line. Everybody watching knew that they were going to run the ball. That's why I said, like, they had 8 players ready to block it. Man-to-man coverage isn't a bad odds. But Malcolm Butler just made a great play. So.
Okay, thank you. So next person. Let's hold the applause to the end after the question and answers.
okay. Thanks for backing me up, I appreciate it.
Go ahead,
Oh no, don't
Need the light? Okay. Experiment a little bit.
Do you turn the lights off?
Sorry?
Off?
Well, there's some who wants it on, some who wants it off. Is this okay for everybody? Yeah. Or does it feel scary?
No. No, absolutely terrible.
Okay.
My name is Jackie Brown, and I did mine on government-funded affordable housing. I chose this topic because in today's society, it's a relevant topic, obviously, and it directly affects our economy. What is public housing? It's one of the nation's 3 main rental assistance programs, and it provides affordable homes to 2.2 million low-income Americans. The cost, most tenants pay 30% of their income for rent and utilities. Housing agencies can choose to require families to pay a minimum rent of up to $50, even if this is more than 30% of their income. And families can opt out to pay a flat rent based on local market rent regardless of their income. The benefits, it helps families to afford modest housing, and it helps to avoid homelessness and other kinds of housing instability. And it provides access to neighborhoods with stronger schools and more job opportunities. And for seniors and people with disabilities, public housing enables them to remain in their home communities and avoid or delay moving into nursing homes and other institutions that are much more costly. And how is it funded? Through 2 main streams: the Public Housing Operating Fund, which is intended to cover the gap between the rent that tenants pay and the development's operating cost, and then the Public Housing Capital Fund, which funds renovation of developments and replacement of items such as appliances, heating, and cooling equipment. My conclusion: for the most part, I agree with government housing, but I also think that there should be more strict guidelines and rules on who can be approved. There are new rules saying that people who apply for housing nowadays have to drug test, and I also agree with that.
go back to the second last slide, okay, please?
Which one?
Yeah, that one. So that's your opinion about more strict guidelines, are they more than just drug testing? What about other criteria?
I mean, you should, like, nowadays, you really, I think you have to have children and things of that nature, but also having a job or either being in school is something that would be, obviously, you have to, a requirement.
Okay, I'll let other ask questions and, at the end of the class, please do not leave. People who are presenting, I would like to give my, more comments, because sometimes I give the comment during the class, student write it down as part of the peer review. So that's not so good, because then you're stealing my ideas, you don't have content, you basically, and please do not copy word for word like the handout that you have. Okay, so you have to paraphrase everything. Questions? We'll take two. Hopefully from different students. Okay, go ahead. That's okay, go ahead.
Did you say like you had to have a job to be able to have government housing? Are you don't? Are you saying like?
I'm saying you should either
You
have,
should
like, be in school or have a
think?
job.
Okay, I get what
Yeah,
you're.
don't log off yet, please. Yeah, leave it.
Oh, you said don't log off?
Yes. Wait till your session is over, yes. If you already logged out, that's fine, because it's very hard to go
Are
back.
you talking about out of the PowerPoint or out of the computer?
I'm talking about the PowerPoint, yeah.
Oh.
Don't close it off until you're done, yeah. If you're done already, I mean, it's hard to go back, yeah. One more question, please? I think I missed that questions, because it was, can you ask that questions again? I'm sorry.
I just asked her like, cause I thought she had said something about you had to have a job to have government housing, but she was saying she thinks that you should either be in school or have a job to be able to like get government housing. But it's not a regulation right now, right? Okay.
Well, I'm sure they look at your income, yeah. Is this state run or federal government run, the
I think
funds?
it's, well, federal, I believe. Okay. It depends on where you are.
Can you find out?
Yeah, I can
Okay,
see.
good.
It'll be in my paper.
It's state funded.
State.
Well, find out, because I'm sure there's some that are federal run and there's some that are state run. So any other questions that you might have? Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah. I want to say to everybody, please do not rush. You got your 10 minutes, so value that 10 minutes as much as you can and pace it, and don't rush to. And be sure you introduce yourself at the beginning, so beginning of your presentation. Oh, the marker, of course, yes. Now, if anybody who's presenting today, you got something to pass out, this is a good time to do that right now, please. Wow, things are moving. Thank you.
Let's go. I forgot my password.
I can help you with that. You wanna call somebody and ask?
Should be ready to go out. That's why she looked like that. She had a whole clean house. Should be really going today. You ready at 11?
Do you have a question?
Hello, my name is Tyra Burgess, and I'm presenting Chapter 3, Demand and Supply, and Goods and Services.
This is.
Everyone has wants and needs, including me, and some of my wants are clothing and fashion. But there's steps before we can all get to that, to buy anything based off of consumers and the items produced. So I wanted to explore that idea. What is demand? Demand is a downward slope with correlations to pricing. And you guys want to see a physical?
You could erase it if you want, yeah, that's fine. Miss Kim. Just pass it.
This is an example of demand, or how it looks on a graph. Usually you'll have your quantity down here, how much a seller wants to sell, and the pricing. And the demand usually goes like that, and the supply is an upward curve. And an example is like Powerade. So the more it's demanded, the more quantity they're gonna make. Supply or substitution is the price of, like, if the price of your first choice goes up, then you get like a substitute. For example, Powerade, you would just go to Gatorade because it's the same thing and it's probably like a couple cents cheaper. And the income effect is if a demand of a service or good changes due to customer income. So basically, the more money you earn, the more you would like to spend, basically. And then what is supply? It is the correlation of price of a product and service and the amount supplied for a duration. Okay, and prices and quantity variables are, prices are independent and the quantity is dependent. Okay, and then these are just other key concepts that go along with the market. All right, any questions?
Show us your citation, please. Any questions? Go back to your content. Anybody has any questions? What about fashion and clothing? How do they fit in here?
Because companies have to make the clothing and then they have to reserve a price for it depending on who they want to sell the clothing to, and then that depends on who like is demanding it.
So what would be like your, that over there, your P is what? Price for, what market are you looking at over there?
That was for like Powerade for that example. But that would be like the
$2 per bottle, $4 per
Yeah.
bottle. Okay. Okay, any questions at all, anybody? Okay, thank you. Now remember on that PowerPoint slides that I included as a guideline PowerPoint slide, I think one of the last slides I have, I show you this is the right way to cite it, including the textbook, how you cite it. So you should go back there and look at it if you ever cite anything from the textbook. Instead of from third-party encyclopedia. Did I mention not to cite Wikipedia, Encyclopedia, and Investopedia?
Yes, ma'am.
You will get minus 25 points. Got it? Right.
So basically anything with
Investopedia is
pedia,
not-
don't
anything to
cite.
do with pedia, anything with third party, let you know, don't do it. Because you're not adding anything. You just like, oh, ta-da, you know, look at my skill of copying, I'm so great. So that's not how it works, yeah. Okay, she's ready.
Right. So my project was the cost and benefits of Cyber Monday. My motivation was this for since you know the sales of Black Friday and Cyber Monday is coming up after Thanksgiving. You know, might as well do this project on that. You know, and a lot of people spend their money on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, and it's the cyber sale online where everything is cheaper and discounted. So big companies like Walmart, Amazon, they discount their prices and sell stuff cheaper than what it is. The cost of the consumer would be majority of things sell out quick. You know, you have to wake up early for the sales and the site might crash. But the benefits is you get good sales, it's a huge variety of different things, and it's cheaper than the original price. And also people are allowed to, you know, spend more. I mean, spend less but have more. The producer's costs are the returns after the sale are more expensive since shipping his stuff, and the promotions are going to be expensive for the upcoming sales. The benefits is more profits is going into the economy, and it's going to be a surplus in profits and new customers, and attention is brought to whatever store or site is having a big sale. Conclusion, shopping on Cyber Monday is great for businesses and producers, but as a shopper myself, I probably wouldn't because I don't think it's worth it, because the money is basically going to big companies and it's not benefiting you. It's just, you know, you spend more, you're putting into the economy, but I don't think it's going to benefit you as well. And plus, I'm a broke college student, so I don't think it's going to you know, help me at all. Here's my work.
Questions?
Go ahead, I guess.
Alright, so which day would you rather shop, Cyber Monday or Black Friday?
I'd rather do Cyber Monday because that means I don't have to go out and, you know, try to get beat up by people trying to get into stores and everything be sold out by the time I get there.
Have you looked at the online shopping?
Yes,
Store shopping?
it's, well, Black Friday sales are better, but Cyber Monday, like, I wouldn't have to go through all the hassle and stuff like that of long lines and things being sold out, and, you know, people get angry on Black Friday and stuff like that.
I'm talking about online versus store, like instead of,
Yeah,
there's a lot
online
of this
sales.
stuff you can get it online now.
Yeah, but in stores, the discounts are better, but still online, like, you can see the competing rates. It's different stores.
Can't you, I think you could shop online, a lot of people stay at home and do that now. And then they just ship to you if it goes a certain amount.
Yeah,
The discount is the same, I think,
Yeah,
minus the crowd.
but plus the shipping and handling prices.
Yeah,
And you have to
that's a
wait.
consideration, but then, you know, I mean, you got a convenience of shopping at home, and also, I think, if you shop over a certain amount, which most people do, like say over 50, I think with shipping is free. So I'm just asking, you know, have you considered, because you're looking at just two events here, but have you also looked at online versus store shopping for
Yeah,
the
I
2
did
days?
do that. I
Yeah.
did do that
Okay.
research.
Another question to anybody?
I don't know. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Do you know when they started Cyber Monday? Like, 'cause I just remember it just coming out of nowhere.
I really don't know. All I know, it came out of nowhere too, but, you know, it'll be in my paper, I guess. That's it.
Do you wanna close it?
I was, but, you know.
Go ahead. Otherwise, she have to close it first. I think it would be probably easier. So don't write more than half a page for the peer review and write only on one presenter. And people who are presenting today, when is your deadline for your paper? 28th is the Monday after Thanksgiving. Everybody got it?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you submit? Same way you submitted your online, your article summary, you go, I think it's syllabus paper, the first one, you click on it. So, whoa, wait, what, do you have the lock-in?
Yeah,
Did you lock
I
out
do,
your
'cause
stuff?
I didn't send it to my Google, so it's like on my documents. That's why I did that.
Okay.
You want me a password, Ms. Warren?
All right, so anyway, let me finish my sentence. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I ain't say nothing. I'm being dead serious.
I thought you said something.
Nah.
Okay, so anyway, so what do you have to submit?
Your paper.
Your paper.
And the two
And
articles.
And an article.
Hard copy.
I would like for you to be more specific. Thank you, Anthony.
Hard copy.
Hard
and
copy on the day of your due date, 11/15.
And the two
Your
articles.
hard copy and your,
Two printout
you have to
articles.
have minimum 2 articles. Okay, so print them out and then, but when you submit it online, it's only your paper. Why do I need you to submit online? Because I'm checking your copy and pasting thing. Okay, there for plagiarism, so be sure that you conform to that. And many of you, many of you, when you submitted that article, I gave you a chance and I say, well, I will not grade your paper if you only submit your paper, or you submit a paper without submitting the article. So, that's your meeting the deadline, you have to meet both deadline. I mean, both, forms of submission have to meet the deadline. So in other words, before you come to class, you have to already submitted it online, before you come in and, is everybody clear? Because last time I asked everybody say okay, and then I walked to my room and look and say, so this person did not submit, but she was nodding her head in the class. So be sure you understand, because once you walk out, that's it, you know? So, all right, so.
Okay, my name is Shamika. I am a business major with a minor in psychology. I did mine on Netflix, comparing it to Elasticity of Demand. I was a member I became a member of Netflix in 2006. So yeah, my mom was paying for it at the time. And so I was one of those kids where when new movies came out and I really wanted to watch it, I would ask her and she would have to go buy a DVD or something. Did this all the time. It became like a tradition. But I never got familiar with it since she was paying for it. So I didn't think about the money. I didn't think about nothing so my motivation being that I want to learn more about it since I've been a member for so long, and she took me off her plan thing. But and I just want to learn how it worked. So I'm gonna start by telling y'all the history of it. It was founded by this guy named Mark Randolph. 1998. It started off as a DVD by mail service. 2007, streaming was like the bonus for renting DVDs. So if you rent a DVD, you can also stream. And then it was basically off of with the streaming and the DVD renting. It was like whatever dollar that you paid for a DVD, say like a DVD was like $16.99, you would get 17 hours of streaming. They did it like that. In 2008, streaming became unlimited. Who would ever rent DVDs? So basically, it just didn't matter how much you paid for a DVD anymore. And then 2011, they separate the DVDs and streaming, so you had to pay for either or, whichever one you wanted. the DVDs, based on which movie you pick, it ranged from $7.99 to $19.99. Netflix became like the movies, the streaming. They became separated in three plans. They had the standard plan, which was $7.99, and then the HD plan, what was $9.99, and then they got the this one was like the big one, which you can stream on 4 screens, I believe. Yeah, it was 4 screens, meaning like you can watch it on your phone, a laptop at the same time as everybody else is watching. That one cost the most, which is $11.99. 2011 was a bad year for Netflix because people didn't like the fact that you had to pay in order to have DVDs and stream. You had to pay for both of them separately. So that's what made it made the subscribers go down just because of that. And in 2014, they increased it a dollar amount for the standard because back then the standard was the most important. And that's what happened when they started looking at the elasticity of demand, because the growth went out and they didn't know which other method to use. So I took this out of one of my articles. I had 2. One of them was by Jordan Westman and the other one by Isabel Thodden. Jordan Westman, he did research back then to use the formula, which is percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in price. I was going to use his example and show y'all where it was at back then. So there's 3 you can separate into. So this was greater than 1, and then you had the unit. Okay, so it said that it increased 1 million 2014, but prior to that, like for the 2 bullets, you had to change it basically into a percentage. So you would take the previous and you subtract that from the new, and that's when you got 300,000. Then you had to change that in percentage. You would take this one and you will divide it into 1.3, and that would give you 23%. Hit that. And then the next one, you will increasing it by $1 and change that to a percentage. So, and then using the quantity, the minute divided by the quantity and price, you just divide these 2 numbers. And as you can see, that number is in this range, elastic. So basically when they increase the price by $1, consumers won't really, they was just getting, they basically was just looking at like, I don't know if this worth it or not, basically. So when they increased it by $1, they basically thought that this is not worth it anymore. Cause they won't put in a lot in it, like, by adding new popular movies and by viewers' choice or whatever, I would thought that if they can increase the demand by shifting it to the right, it will you increase it to the right at any new price, the price will go up and the quantity will go up. So at any new price, if the quantity went up, it wouldn't be, so the subscribers will be less. And for Netflix to be a big company, it would be better to be in an elastic, because an elastic is it's less steeper than the elastic. So if they increase the amount by $1, then it would be less subscribers. They'd be losing less subscribers. God, Jesus. They be losing less subscribers. So, okay, I'm done.
Question?
I got a question.
Yeah.
All right, you said in 2014 they experienced a decrease in subscriber growth, right?
Right.
Okay, so do you believe that the increase of Netflix and chill over the past 2 years has raised the subscriber growth?
Hey,
I mean, to be honest, yeah, because it's everywhere. Like, everybody is saying it. So, yeah, it'd probably be part of it. And plus,
That's free advertising. That's free
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah.
So you was using Netflix whenever you had to like pick a movie online and they sent it to the
Yeah,
mail.
I've been faithful. I'm watching Netflix every night. So
But I'm talking
like,
about when you first got Netflix.
yeah.
You was using Netflix when you had to pick a movie online and they sent it in the mail.
No.
I remember that. That's before it became online.
Did you have a question? Somebody else raised a question. A hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you were saying that Netflix is elastic. Does that increase with the fact they have other competition, like with Amazon streaming and Hulu and
Redbox.
Yeah.
Redbox?
Yeah, like from them being elastic, Amazon Prime and Hulu, the ones that was similar to them, they had increased chance of like taking over instead of Netflix. So Netflix would be at the bottom then. But if they can switch it to inelastic and then still increase their price, and then on top of that add new programs and stuff, grab people attention and stuff, they can knock out that competition.
That's a good question. Yeah, because substitutability is one of the things that makes it more elastic. Okay, thank you very much. So you're done with your write-up, put it on there. Don't give it to me because I'll get confused. I want to meet with the people who are presenting today. On your way out, just put it on the bench over there, and people who are presenting today, please talk to me before you leave. I'll talk to you in the order in which you present.